What's good, Kingdom? It's your boy King Phenom, and we are back once again. Another week, another KingCast. You know the squad. We got the boy King Sirius Lee.
Yay!
We got the man Blank Man right here.
You're so boring. You're always his face disapproves of what I do, and then he does this boring like.
Hey.
He's just like, I'm just.
You know what it is.
You over here looking like something. I'm just here because it's in my contract.
Hey man,
That's exactly how he look. Like he ain't here of his own free will.
Ain't trying to get that's all you know.
Like he ain't sending out the message. So we streaming today? What's up?
It was quiet and today. It was quiet.
Man, look, I keep trying. I'm sleeping during most of the afternoon on a Saturday, so you ain't gotta look for me. Just know I'm a show. Just know when 9:30 or later come, I'll show up.
I got you.
But
I told him I was just about to call him when he messaged me. Yeah, man, we're just waiting on Sirius. I'm like, nah, man, I'm here. I was about to call you.
Oh, because I thought that was all we was waiting on. I was up. I was at my computer. Like I'm just always waiting for him to send out the link because he's normally the last person home on Saturdays.
It's a hard working man there.
Man, so we have a lot to talk about today, actually.
Yeah, we did.
So y'all want to just like kind of jump right into our movie review?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So this week we decided to watch the movie Chaos Walking, starring, I don't know why I wanted to say Tom Hardy. Tom Holland. What's that? Spiderman, of course. And I can't Daisy Ridley, I think her name is.
Daisy Ridley,
they know. Yeah, you know her. Most people know her as Rey from the last Star Wars
That's
trilogy.
What that was.
Yeah, she's right.
Oh,
I couldn't figure out who are you. I didn't look it up.
So we got to see what two actors like who star in predominantly Disney franchises get to do once they're no longer under the mouse. Like so, anybody want to give their opinions first, or
Seriously, go ahead, man.
What? No, I'm gonna go last.
Why you gotta go last?
Because I want to go last. So
like he's gonna go last, and I feel like everyone's probably going to say the same thing.
Well, I mean, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it, Black Man.
Well, I guess first and foremost, let me give y'all a little synopsis of this movie. This movie is about a young man who lives on a planet, and on this planet there are no females, and all the men have developed the ability to basically have their thoughts projected out loud. So like they're literally just like walking around. If you don't like somebody, you can try to be quiet and not say nothing with your mouth, but your thought would be like, look at this motherfucker right here, this little ugly dusty ass bit. Hey, that's what they was going, man. Some people even had the ability to project their thoughts into like real images.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would see they'd show images of people. I think one person got scared by an image of a snake. Mm-hmm. that someone projected. And so like I said, Tom Holland and his people, they live by themselves on this planet, all guys, which is very worrisome because I'm just like, how y'all gonna carry on with this eventually? And then one day this girl,
according to Kevin Samuels, that's no problem. Place run by all guys. It's going to thrive.
Run by all guys is the problem. It's how it's going to be sustained when there's no one to reproduce.
We got about so many years.
They're going to live out their life cycle. You ain't got to worry about that. That's what the man says. Yeah. But go ahead. I'm okay.
So that's Daisy Ridley's character. She lands on the planet, and it's basically just about the chaos that ensues once someone comes around and comes to this town where these guys have been living all this time, being able to know each other's thoughts, being able to know what they're thinking, and then you have this one person. It's just like, what the fuck is going on there? It's like, what is she thinking? What is she plotting? It's like, look, it's what every man already has to deal with when your girl says, no, everything's okay. It's like,
sure.
Facts.
You might be lying to me.
Facts.
And so the first thing I will say about the movie is it was an interesting concept. Like we've seen stuff where it's just a society of women, society of men, but you add the little sci-fi twist of in this society, it's really hard to hide stuff because even the things that you don't want to be seen or heard, it just kind of like, especially if you don't have good control over it, it's just like an impulse. Like there were certain things that Tom Holland was doing around Daisy Ridley, and he's just like every 3 seconds, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, or I wasn't trying to do that. It's just like, bruh, control your thoughts. Like, it's just like, I just imagine what would happen if like a horny teenager that had never seen a girl ever in his life just happened to come across one right when he's entering that manhood stage. Just like, bruh.
He's having thoughts he ain't never had before.
Titties.
Yes.
Titties. Titties everywhere.
It's like, how'd you manifest that? You never even saw it. I don't know. It's encoded in my DNA, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, and basically what you find out without trying to give away any spoilers is that not everything is always what it seems. And Tom Holland's character tries to escort Daisy Ridley's character somewhere away from his town where she can communicate with her people so they can come scoop her up. And you have the townsfolk in Tom Holland's town who are just like, no, she's dangerous. We don't know what she's capable of. We don't know what she's here. We don't know what she's here for. We don't know who she's coming back with. Do you want her to come back with more people who could hurt us, or people who, or more women who thoughts we can't read? So they all just like, hey, down with the woman. And I was like, damn, bro, kind of cold.
Yeah, like in a world where everything is visible, where everything is seen, every truth is being told, whether like you speak a truth with your mouth, but like, you know, you'll think it for sure. You don't really want that person around that you can't read at all. Like, you know.
Like, go ahead. I'm sorry. You're opinion? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I mean that was pretty much it. Like that person that you can't read, that person who doesn't project that thought, it's just like, yeah, you're constantly wondering what are they thinking, what are they planning. It's just, yeah, it's a scary thing. You know what I mean? It's like I mean it'd be like the opposite, like vice versa. Like it would be kind of scary if like one of us was to develop the ability to project our thoughts and no one else could do it. Like either way, it's like when you're in a situation like that, it's just kind of like, you know, it's unnerving. You know what I mean?
I say this, it's a very interesting concept, and I had to watch it, like, kind of watched it twice. So I went back and some other stuff. It's a real cool concept, but it's like they never really touched on like the alien aspect of it.
It wasn't executed very well.
No, I mean the concept was great. I think the concept was really good. And I think Tom Holland, of course, he did a pretty good job.
He was basically just Spider-Man.
Yeah, but the concept, the way they executed wasn't really done well. And I think a lot of folks are maybe it's because of COVID or whatever. They're just like phoning a lot of these fucking movies in. I'm tired of like, don't make me think about everything. Just give it to me. You know, just give it to me. Stop making me go deep in the whole man-woman concept of woman being more powerful than man than the whole concept of like the women have souls. Oh, it was just like, yo, okay, just give me some action. You know, give me the mind. You know what? Just hey, can we just use your mind to project shit? Let's have a fight with minds. I don't know. It's summertime.
You want a completely different movie than the one that you were watching. You didn't even want to watch that movie. You wanted something totally different.
He wanted mental Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I want the concept, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired of watching movies where I gotta think five steps ahead of the character. And what's the meaning behind it?
I didn't think, me watching this movie, I didn't think you had to think too far ahead of the character at all, because
no, like going to different villages and the lying, and you know, the fact that women couldn't hear your thoughts, and you're like,
well, that's what I'm saying, because it's a movie pretty much about discovery. You have you're
about secrets.
I mean, it's about both. You're discovering the secrets. You're
discovering the truth about the secrets.
Yeah, you're discovering the truth. You're discovering they're exploring the land. You're discovering new areas that they didn't even know, you know, existed and things like that. So I thought, as far as like pacing wise, I was able to keep up with them and kind of go on that journey with them. But there was there's like a huge plot hole that they just didn't really touch on. Like they touched on it throughout the whole movie, and they just didn't
nothing with it.
Nothing.
Are we speaking of the aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
There's a lot of animal cruelty in the movie.
Oh yeah. If you are an animal lover,
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I was like, yo.
That was pretty.
I mean, it was a couple. You like, bruh, come on.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It was. That don't count. It was an alien planet, man.
Yeah. I think the thing about this movie is your two leading people. They were good for what they were. Like I said, Tom Holland was basically the way. If you see him in Spider-Man, he was basically the same. He was just kind of young, a little not naive and stuff. Daisy Ridley, I haven't really seen her anything outside of Star Wars other than Murder on the Orient Express. So I don't really know.
Who was she on that? I saw she was credited in there. Was she
like
the dancer? Was she the dancer?
I think she was like some American chick or something like that. Maybe I don't remember.
Okay.
I'd have to rewatch the movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, they had some decent chemistry. The one thing that I have to remember that I heard about this movie before it came out was this movie had been delayed multiple times because they were having issues with directors and issues with scripts. So, the finished product, I try to remember. I don't even know how close this is to what the original vision was supposed to be, or of course all the stuff is based on the book.
I felt like it was missing some shit. I mean, like, this is the second movie I've watched. We're missing stuff. Like, you're doing editing. Can you go like we missed? There's a plot holes there, like big ones.
Yeah.
So like director wise, so it was how you say it, Doug Liman? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
He's made good movies. He's
definitely made good movies.
American Made, Edge of Tomorrow, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, The Bourne Identity. Like he's done good stuff. He's also done a lot of stuff that I haven't seen personally, so I don't know if it's good or not. But he's been accredited for producing a lot of movies. However, he did do Jumper though, and Jumper was
a good concept. It was poorly executed.
Yeah.
It was and just like Jumper, this was based off of a book.
Yep.
Yeah.
He got to get a little better. He got to go a little better at that.
So directing wise, like this guy is able to make good movies. Now I didn't know that because of the delays and the director changes and things like that. That could have a reason, a bearing on why the movie is the way it is. Because with the cast, like you said, Tom Holland, he was pretty much Spider-Man. He didn't miss a beat from being Spider-Man. The coming of age and things like that, especially when he meets up with Daisy and that character and how they're going about things. I was surprised. What's funny? I don't know if you guys caught it, but if I was her, I wouldn't have joined up with him. He couldn't take me anywhere because the first hour or so of the movie, he was snitching on her the whole time accidentally. It's like he couldn't like in a world where you have to keep your thoughts under control because people like your thoughts, people will see them, and he just does the shittiest job at doing it. Like when he's trying to like keep people from like reading his thoughts, it's still like
it's a ship. Yeah. What ship?
She's in the barn. Oh shit! Like
that would be so horrible to have as a power or as a like just a thing that happens.
Try to learn to control that shit. Yeah.
Because you got to think on your mind on a regular basis. How much wild shit you think about. Now everybody knows what you think about.
But I think you think about the wild shit because everybody can't see that shit.
So you think?
I think if you knew for a fact that people could see your thoughts, you'd be careful about what you think.
So girl wouldn't walk by and go, titties. What?
If I knew she could see that thought, I might not want to think that.
But some stuff is just kind of subconscious. So here's another thing that they do establish. Some of your thoughts are subconscious because one thing that I did find interesting here is that even when they're asleep, they're still projecting their thoughts.
Yeah, they're dreaming.
Yeah, it's one scene where someone's just like, yeah, no, people can't share room. Like certain people can't share rooms with each other because their thoughts are too loud when they're sleeping. Like there was one guy I think he was dreaming of a baseball game.
A whole baseball
and so
game.
all you heard was Like it'd be real quiet. Then
my guy walks in. He said, "Does he do this all night? All night,
it's like all night.
baseball, all on the brain, all night."
I mean, that's why I say this is it's an interesting torture to have. I like, I would not want that. I do not, because now you got to focus your whole time on. All right, clear your head. What if you can't clear your head? What if you're not that good?
So now I know a person that we didn't say, Mads Mikkelsen, is in it, and he plays like
the mayor
of the town,
the mayor of Tom Holland,
and he figured it out.
But he figured it out well enough. Well, I can't. That's a spoiler. I'm not gonna say what he does, but he figured it out. But still, that's got to be like. I think with him, and I think with the concept of the whole man-woman thing, I'll give that away. Is you are not the trust is gone. Not because I know what everybody else, but I can't trust any of you. Y'all can be plotting against me at all times. I wouldn't know. Which now you turn to rely on that power. Like I need this to sort out the bullshit. Now I don't have a bullshit detector.
Yeah, but then sometimes that bullshit detector, like sometimes it makes you bullshit yourself. Like there's a particular character that was in here, a preacher, and you're thinking one thing about him in the entire movie, and then once you get to a certain point in the end, you're just like, oh, his own thoughts are betraying him.
David Oyelowo, he played in Selma, the guy from Selma.
Yeah, I was about to say this saved Martin Luther King from Selma.
Yeah.
I think they wasted that character.
I
think they wasted that character.
I think he could have been a little bit more.
He's a really good actor. That's a wasted character.
I wouldn't say the character that he was playing was such a tortured character. Well, you didn't see how tortured that character was. It was progressing throughout the movie. And the more that they were, because it's a chase film essentially, and the more that they were chasing after her, you saw that he was more and more starting to like lose it. Like if you paid attention, his color was changing. He had two different colors, to the point where I think he couldn't make out in his subconscious. Like he was basically saying this one thing has to be bad, this one thing has to be good, but he couldn't really make out which one was which. Yeah.
I think
at a certain point, he couldn't make out which one was which.
But I think he was such a good actor. They could have gave you a little bit more on that character. He's a really good actor. He could have gave you a little bit more. Plus, he has a very big role in why the situation really is.
He has a very big role.
Very big role.
I think he took part, but I don't think it was a really big one.
If you listen to his speech, if you listen to it, what he's saying, he plays a very big role in the whole thing.
Like, and to the point where even like Mads is just like, the mayor's just like, he doesn't try to stop him. No. He lets him do what he does. He just tells his boys, hey, just don't let him go too crazy.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think that he had a part in it, and it may be a strong part, but overall, it was Mads Mikkelsen's character that did that. But as a justification for doing it, yes, that's the priest. But it was all Mads' plan to do that.
But I didn't catch that, like
his name is so cool.
The preach part until later. I didn't catch he was a pastor. I know he was like, oh, preacher, he's a pastor, but I didn't catch.
I thought he called him priest like as soon as he saw him or something. Like I thought that was his name.
He called him priest. Yeah, he called him priest.
They didn't say his name till like almost the end of the movie. So you knew who he was until everything started to unfold. And you're like, oh, that's that guy.
I know, I knew that. I knew that when they were reading the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Daisy Ridley was reading the book, like and
at that point, I didn't know who. I didn't like who was that guy. Like, oh, I didn't hear his name at first. That's why.
Yeah. Nick Jonas was in it. What do you guys think of Nick Jonas?
Why was he in the movie?
I liked him better in Jumanji.
I loved him better in Jumanji. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know why he was in this movie.
That could have been anybody. That could have been you.
Yeah, like somebody had to play the role of like the slimy mayor's kid, and it's just like it didn't fit. Like although it was the one thing I'll say that makes me laugh about this movie is just like, because you can see someone's thoughts, There's a particular scene when Nick Jonas tried to get real buck with Mads, who was supposed to be his dad. And like the moment after he did something, his thoughts was like, I'm sorry. He was just like, fuck you up. Like it was basically at this moment I knew I fucked up.
Niggas be like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, what you say? Nothing. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, like it's like it was one point where Tom Holland was like surrounded by like what three dudes, and he was like, "Oh, they're gonna jump me. They're gonna fight me. I can take them.
I can take 3 of them." Yeah, and the fourth
like,
one came up.
Yeah, he
4.
Like in his head, he was like, "Do something tough. Do something." It's just like, bro, we know that you're scared because you're telling us out loud with your thoughts that you need to do something tough to try to intimidate.
That's got to be like the. I wish they'd explained that a little more. I wish they'd have gotten to the aliens a little more. And it's, give me a reason why. Is it a heat shield?
So
what is it?
So quick. So I guess I'll say this because last week we did Man of Wrath and you guys pointed out the plot holes. So do you think that maybe this movie, maybe a lot of stuff was left out because like most things nowadays, they might have planned on this maybe being a franchise? I mean, you have your 2 leading characters who are not like who have literally carried 2 major franchises in Spider-Man and Star Wars in the last few years. I know this is based on a book. It's probably a young teens book, a young adults book, which means it's probably the first in a succession of books. Mm-hmm. So you think maybe they had planned on just like turning this into like a new franchise, and so they might have been holding stuff back.
So I would be on board with that thought if the ending didn't play out the way that it did. Exactly. And let me ask y'all this, because what I was watching it on, once the credits started rolling, there was like a good sizable portion of like the time left. Was there an after credit scene that I might have missed? Because
I about to say I hit stop as soon as the credits started rolling.
Okay, because that Plex, it's very hard to rewind. But no, I'm watching it, and as soon as the credits hit,
I was about to answer it.
Will you say you know?
No, I was about to look, but my Plex is on my main screen, so I would block you guys out. So I don't want to do that.
The way that they ended it felt really rushed. Like, we need to hurry up and get this movie over with.
And I think that's what's going on. I think some of these movies that are coming out were so rushed during COVID that you can tell, like us who are like moviegoers, you can tell there's parts where like, okay, you rushed that. You just sped that up to get this over with. Because movies before this year, I've not seen a movie this year that was like, oh my God, it's amazing. I haven't seen one movie this year that's made me go, whoa, this is... The only thing that I've seen this year that's made me go, wow, is Invincible. And that's animation.
Oh, I answered my own question. In October 2011, Lionsgate acquired worldwide distribution rights to a film adaptation of Patrick Ness's Chaos Walking trilogy. So they were probably leaving some stuff out for like hoping that this would catch on and turn into a trilogy.
But there was no big mystery for real. Like, no, that's what I'm saying. The way that they ended it, they didn't even leave it for like a cliffhanger to be like, oh, what if? It was like whatever plot hole they were supposed to fill, they missed the time to fill it. And you're at the end of the movie. Like, there was no cliffhanger like, hey, and in the next one, it's like, I don't have any interest of wanting to see what happens next because it's all boring now.
Like, well, in my mind, I was thinking maybe in the next one, since the way it ended, it looked like more people were coming to the planet.
Yeah.
Maybe those people were coming, better technology. Maybe they might have explored a little bit more of the situation with the aliens.
And then
but they didn't because my bad because they didn't show the aliens of being any major threat for real. Because mind you, what he thought that the aliens did,
they didn't do.
So that eliminated them as a threat. He even encountered one, and it was non-threatening in essence eventually. But
like at the end, it was non-threatening.
Yeah, so it's like they didn't really show them as being a real threat. So I don't really care. So what? So they're aliens. They already established it's an alien planet. So it's like now you can't, because you did that with that alien scene, you kind of missed that chance to really make me care about what's going on with the aliens. And then even with the really cool part of the movie, which is the thoughts and visualizing the thoughts and things like that, it's like, okay, that's a mystery, and that's something like, hey, why is that a thing? They missed a chance for us to really care about that, the way that they ended it. And they ended it in a very, and we did it kind of thing.
And what happened? Like, what happened to the original plan? What happened to Earth 1? You know, what happened? What exactly? Sometimes I need fill me out a little bit.
Oh, I don't need that. What happened to Earth?
I mean, I just assume that I just assume we fucked it up, like in every movie.
Yeah,
like in Lost in Space, like we effed it up.
Yeah, like we're currently doing, you know. So yeah, like, it's no surprise what happens to Earth. We need to leave.
And we must have effed it up pretty bad because they went far out of their way. Because what was it? I think Daisy Ridley said the ship that she was on had people on there. I mean, had been sailing for or flying for 64 years, and that wasn't even the first. That wasn't even the first ship. That was like the fourth model of that ship.
Yeah. So I mean, they missed their chance to fill those plot holes, or they missed their chance to make you care about those very interesting plots that they established. And based off of how they ended it, and you just, it's like, so what at this point? Oh, we got a Chaos Walking Part 2. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm not like, I gotta go see that. If it comes on Hulu, I'll watch it. But I mean,
in my mind, if someone asked me real quick what I thought about this movie, I would say 2 lead characters aren't bad. I like them. They had very decent chemistry. Like, and I think it was more so because of Tom Holland's character. I think because of his ability, it made their chemistry better.
They had as good as chemistry as 2 individuals in that situation could possibly have.
Yeah, like
it was natural. It was a natural chemistry.
And I don't see how a romantic relationship could evolve from that, being that she can read she can hear all his thoughts. That's not really a winnable situation.
You don't see how I see it. I mean, if they was to put a romantic plot in there, I can see how that wouldn't stop her from liking him because she can see his thoughts.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. That seems like weird to me. I personally,
that's because you're dirty mind. People wouldn't like you if you were thinking
nasty mind.
Right. This is Spider-Man we're talking about. He had the most purest and innocent thoughts. They were natural thoughts. Like, it's a girl. It's my first time seeing a girl. She's pretty. And he thought about them kissing. It's like, that's natural stuff. Like, that's
but then also you have to think. Also, the worst case scenario isn't the thoughts that he has before a romantic relationship is ensued. It would be, what would he be thinking if one was ensued? Like, imagine you just in the town and he's just like, I got them draws, dog.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, oh man, she did what she did.
He'd be a walking porno, bro. He'd be playing the Vision over and over again.
Like, my man would just be playing, would just be singing "Doing It" by LL Cool J in his head, walking around and doing it and doing it.
But you know what? I think would have made Tom Holland's character even better if he'd have used his actual accent. I think
he could have. I mean,
if he'd have used his accent, it would have gave it a little more.
I think, but since everyone else didn't have an accent and all these people had lived in this town together for all these years, him just having an accent or no one else having an accent would have kind of been weird though.
Then you would have to turn on Matt.
I mean, she did, but I was about to say she did. But she's not from that planet though.
Didn't his father have an accent too?
I don't think he really had an accent. I think it was more like a little. I think it was more like a little
twang.
Yeah, a little twang. Yeah, in which Matt's had a little country twang every once in a while. Like you could tell he was trying.
Where's he?
Austria.
Hold up, I can tell you real quick. Mads is from Denmark, Copenhagen.
Because his accent is very regal.
Yeah. Have you seen Polar?
Yeah.
Yeah, his accent is dope. Even Doctor Strange, Hannibal, when he's playing, hey, you see the show? That's just how he talks. And it's very, very soft spoken and very
Season 4 Hannibal, still make it happen.
I could kill you with my hands, but why would I mess up such a pretty face? You know what I mean? He's dangerous.
Like, I'm not gonna raise my voice, but I will tell you.
Yeah. So overall, if you guys had to give this a crown rating, like zero crowns to 4, what would you get to?
Go ahead.
1.5.
1.5.
1.5 crowns.
I was gonna say a 1.
I'm going half a crown on this one, boys.
Once again,
going half a crown on this one. I see, and because like I said, the news that you said I didn't know as far as them switching directors, and because that can have switching writers, that can have a lot to do with the changing of the plots and things like that. Because like, Phenom did a wonderful job giving a synopsis of the movie, but let me read to you that the Wikipedia synopsis. And in the not too distant future, Todd Hewitt discovers a mysterious woman who crash landed on his planet. It's a dystopian world where all the females have disappeared and all the men are afflicted by a force that puts their thoughts on display. Vowing to protect her, the duo must navigate dangerous terrain, and Todd discovers his inner power and unlocks the planet's dark secrets. That sounds like a good movie that I would want to watch. Yes. That's not what I got.
Hey, I'm definitely gonna say he didn't unlock any inner power.
No, and you know what? They also said that in the trailer for the movie.
Yeah.
And they had different sound bites of Mads Mikkelsen saying he has powers. He has the inner powers that no one else has. Yeah. And so I'm reading that. I hear that on the trailer, and they're telling me a way better movie than what they gave me.
We didn't get that.
And the fact that the editors and whoever releases the trailers and the marketing for that thing didn't catch it. Like, yo, we changed the movie from what we have out previously. We might want to change this so it lines up. They didn't care about this project.
So this movie was also supposed to come out years ago. Yeah. Like, so from what I'm looking at, this movie was filmed or finished filming back in November of 2017. They did screenings. The screenings were bad, and so they did reshoots. So you're just like, if the screenings were bad that they had to do, and I do remember they talked about the movie doing reshoots. So just think, if the movie was bad enough to where they had to do reshoots, what was it? What was the original one like?
It was probably that one with the powers, and it was like,
but, nah, we don't like. But the thing is, this whole genre of like big budget movies for a movie theater, like sci-fi type shit we're on right now, they gotta come correct. Because you talk about people who are now very well versed in comic books and movies. You can't come with some half-ass movie. You
just can't throw two very marketable names nowadays and just hope that it's going to bring butts in the seat.
It has to be, especially if you're going sci-fi, especially if you're going power, especially if you're going anything in that realm. Come on, man. You got it. You got to really look at what like Marvel did. Look what like shit like that and go, okay, I gotta tell a full story.
Well, flops make money too.
Yeah.
Flops make money too. And I'm not saying that this is just supposed to be a huge cash grab, put out a sorry product for, just to, because they got Tom Holland and freaking Ray from Star Wars, Mads Mikkelsen. Like, this cast isn't like some run of the mill cast. That's goddamn Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I don't think they didn't do the movie any justice for it.
And of course, dropping it out during the COVID time, because the movie it was only in theaters for a month. It just came out on what they call it, rental on demand or whatnot within the last month or so. So like overall, they estimate with the reshoots that this movie cost $100 million to make. The domestic gross so far is a little bit over 3 million. The international is 86 million. 8,600. I'm sorry, 8.6K. There we go. So worldwide, out of $100 million budget, it's only made like close to $22 million.
Ooh.
Ouch, Charlie.
God, that's ouch. That's a huge ouch. There's a big jump between 100 million and 22. It's a big ass gap. A lot of commas.
Yeah, but we all kind of were in the same. We were all kind of in the same boat when it came to this one this time. No man of wrath or wrath of man, whatever. No argument. I
was watching. I was like, they better not think this is a good movie. Like, I know we all watched it and we didn't ask each other what we thought of it because we were waiting for the review. But I was like, they better not have liked this movie, bro.
No, Nah, because to me the pacing was just really slow.
Yeah, I stopped watching it, came back, rewinded, came back.
So you remember when you asked me if I was watching it on Plex series?
Yeah.
That was like my fourth time like watching it because I just stopped. I've stopped. Like, I'll watch it a little bit later. This ain't really it right now.
Even go, hey, watch this. It didn't do that.
Yeah. Like I said, the only bright spot of this whole movie for me is just I just kind of like Tom Holland's character sometimes. Like, and it was really just because of his thoughts. I just like where old girl's like, hey, you know we're going right, yeah, and his thoughts were like, maybe, like I guess that was funny. And the one scene that he projected during the rain,
yeah,
I legit thought that was a real scene for a second.
He felt the shame, bro. He had to go. I'll leave. I'll go out. I'll sleep out in the rain. I'm sorry.
He kicked himself out.
Carried the whole movie basically.
Yeah, like he was the only character that I really cared about.
Yeah.
Oh, and the second, not the second half of the movie, but like where they introduced the mayor of that next colony, like that part of the movie, that I feel like that part was kind of like a waste of time because they didn't even like stick with those.
No, they
didn't stick with any of those characters.
They just disappeared. They were like, oh, okay,
yeah,
they were soft.
So yeah, it was just like it. The flaws are shown, and yeah, if you're gonna switch writers, if you're gonna do reshoots, if you're gonna switch directors, the vision gets blurry, and you're not gonna put out a good product. So much so, what we're reading and what the trailers are showing is a complete different movie from what it is that they're actually showing you. So,
fully agree.
Yeah, so there you go, people. If anyone was thinking about watching Chaos Walking, I would say don't rent it. Just wait till that thing comes. It'll come on some type of streaming platform. If it came on a streaming platform, it's it's worth sitting down to maybe get a little watch, but it ain't worth going out your way to try to like track this down.
Good for the background.
There's better shit to watch, bro. I wouldn't even say watch the movie.
Even if it's on Hulu, watch Boss Level instead.
Yeah, there's better stuff to watch.
I think they love me.